Hello, traders. Cousin Benny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, August the 25th, 2024. In this edition of your weekend video newsletter, we'll discuss the indices, all of which close near highs, taking all sectors and many stocks to new highs as well, with the Fed ending the week with a dovish print. So we'll make sure not to get too complacent as the markets show that they may be making new highs. We've got the S&P Equal Weight Index making an all-time high. That said, seasonality does become an issue towards the end of September, leaving us with 19 bullish indicators, 1 neutral, and 0 bearish to start the week. Removing the weight of these 15 stocks on the left, 32% of the weight of the S&P 500 is making a new all-time high. The number of stocks above the 20-day are near 90%. So most stocks made new highs last week. The number of stocks above the 50-day is now approaching the 80% level to end the week, with the S&P 500 closing at the highs of the week, just shy of all-time highs, with RSI above 50 and trending higher. Volume looks good. Institutions are present. MACD and stochastics are bullish. At the same time, the Qs closed on an inside day, but above the 50-day moving average. Bollinger Bands are moving apart. RSI is above 50 and rising. MACD and stochastics are still bullish, with these 10 stocks from the New York FANG Index closing above the 21-day, below the 50-day, looking for a follow-through this week. RSI turned back up. MACD is still bullish, though fading, and stochastics is fading as well. So we look for these stocks with NVIDIA earnings this week to move a bit higher, given the Fed's dovish stance. As most stocks closed at highs, you can see from the market heat map, with the dark green being stocks that closed up more than 3%. Only a few stocks from the S&P 500 showed weakness. IWM showed strength, with 8 of 9 sectors closing higher. Only energy was lagging. It closed flat for the week. So small cap financials, industrials, and the other 8 sectors closed higher. And bullish, looks like we might test recent highs, with junk bonds closing at new all-time highs and highs for the week, as we can see on the weekly time frame. So it should be no surprise to anyone that the indices are strong, playing off of that dovish print from the Fed. You can see New York Stock Exchange Composite, 2,000 stocks, broad measure of market participation, closing on a green histogram bar. Advanced decline is making new highs. And the index is also making new highs. 2,000 stocks on the composite. So that leaves us with advanced decline percent on the S&P 500 near 30%. The mid caps, small caps, and NASDAQ in descending order all have potential to follow through this week, in addition to probable strength into September seasonality for the S&P 500. With junk bonds at all-time highs and sectors outperforming, the Fed dovish, you would expect real estate and interest-sensitive stocks and sectors to be moving higher. That's what we saw last week. Builders were up. Mortgage companies were up. Financials related to mortgages were up. REITs and real estate, financials and industrials all moving higher to end the week. Real estate was really strong. So look for a follow-through in these sectors, and also note the strength in retail and consumer discretionary. If you're a bull, you want to see these sectors outperforming. Stocks from the IBD 50 in the first line are outperforming. Those look like they're going to continue to follow through. Stocks on the move and stocks from scans or in the second line, many of them look like they're going to follow through as well. They're all set up and making new highs. That said, many of these stocks from the IBD 50 that are breaking out have stochastics above 80. That just means that we could stay embedded and price action close in the upper half of the daily range. Most of these look very strong, like BWind, Cirrus Logic, Clear Secure, YOU, C1, Clearwater, Decker's Outdoors. Most of these looking pretty good. Lilly consolidating. MCore Group trying to break out to make new highs. ENVA, Innova International, pushing off the 21-day moving average. FTAI Aviation makes aircraft engines. This one's making new highs. This has been highlighted the last couple of weeks. Fabrinet at highs. Green Brick Partners, real estate related names, all moving higher. Fresh Pet also higher. Howmet, aerospace and defense stocks, keep an eye on those two. KKR, asset managers moving higher. Lantheus breaking back above its 20-day moving average. With NVIDIA earnings this week, looking for a break above 130. On footwear and apparel looking good. Powell, POWL, breaking out to new highs. RX Site, look at some of the healthcare names too. Those are following through this week with 90% of stocks above their 20-day moving average. We should see a follow through, you would think, this week. Samsara, IoT, moving higher. Wingstop, the restaurants and bars look good. Stocks on the move for August 25th. Many of these breaking out to the upside as well. Retail, a lot of the retail names like TJ Maxx gapping up, Ross Stores, Burlington Stores breaking to new highs. Cheesecake Factory following through. Kava, look for a flag. That one's probably going to follow through as well. With most stocks moving higher, 90% above the 20-day, 80% above the 50-day, we should see a follow through into the end of August, into the first week or so of September. Just remember, seasonality tends to get bearish towards the end of September, so we'll be looking for that. We don't want to get too complacent, though we will probably be a bit more aggressive to start the week, given the dovish Fed and the way stocks closed last week. Okay, traders, that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, August the 25th, 2024. I'll send out a watch list of stocks that have the greatest possibility of following through around 12 midnight on the East Coast, around 9 o'clock on the West Coast, so be sure to check your inbox for that. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, and we'll see you in the morning. Ciao.